Yo, what is up, Raidernation? We are 1 day away from training camp, 20 days away from preseason, and 50 days from Monday Night Football. Man, I can't believe it. Football season is officially here, and you know what that means? Yo, boy Simone Raider is finally back for another season. It's actually gonna be my 8th season as a Raiders content creator. Man, time flies, but you know what? Let's push some of the excitement to the side, and let's not waste any more time, and let's get started with the video. Cue the intro.
And you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
So I know that this news came out a couple of days ago, but Malcolm Koonce and Divine Diablo are officially a part of the Raider Nation, a part of the Raiders, because they finally signed their contracts just a couple of days ago, and that means that all of our rookies are finally under contract with the team. Malcolm Koonce and Divine Diablo both signed to a 4-year, $5 million contract, so that's good to see, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do on the field. Now, speaking of Divine Diablo and Isaiah Johnson, both of these players have both been placed on the PUP list, the PUP list, according to Levi Damien. Other notable names that have been placed on this list as well have been defensive tackle Darius Steele and offensive lineman Devery Henderson. Now, most of these moves seem to be precautionary, so nothing too serious, and they should be ready to be back on the field real soon. Divine Diablo and Isaiah Johnson are expected to join the team at some point during training camp, so I'm not too worried about that, and I cannot wait to see these guys on the field. Well, most likely Divine Diablo. I know that he's been dealing with a lot of things throughout the whole offseason, but hopefully he can be back on the field and get going right before the first preseason game, because I want to see most of these rookies go out there and ball out. But man, let's talk about training camp. I'm excited to finally talk some Raiders football with the season up ahead, you know, and preseason coming soon as well. But training camp will be starting tomorrow, July 27, 2021, and on July 30th, this Friday, it will be the first day in pads for the team. And from July 28th to August 23rd, there will be full media access from training camp to the preseason game. So I'm excited for this, and you know your boy gonna be covering all of this. So if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, I just want to throw it in there. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos like this, because your boy finna be active throughout this whole season. Now, since we are a day away from training camp and preseason, there are 5 questions that I have, you know, that I want to see get answered throughout this whole preseason and training camp. And one of those questions is, who will be the starting slot corner? Now, with LaMarcus Joyner gone, that position is now up for grabs. You know, we have Damon Arnett, Amik Robertson, Nate Hobbs, and Nevin Lawson. Now, I know Nevin Lawson is going to be out for the first couple of games, so that rules him out. So we have 3 capable cornerbacks that can start day one. But who will it be? Now, during the offseason and OTAs, one guy that has been getting a lot of love at the cornerback position has been our rookie cornerback that we drafted this past year, Nate Hobbs. He's been getting a lot of love left and right from some of the veterans, which is good to see. So hopefully we'll see if he could take advantage of his opportunity, because right now that slot corner position is up in the air. My second question is, who will be our wide receiver 1? Now, yes, I know Darren Waller is our #1 wide receiver, hands down. But as far as a wide receiver, who's going to take up that role? Who's going to step up and take that Nelson Aguilar role this season? We already know that Nelson Aguilar is gone from this team. You know, adios amigo, but we need to find somebody that could step in and fill that void. Now, Derek Carr has been working with a lot of our wide receivers that we do have on the roster, and I know as of right now, Brian Edwards and Henry Ruggs are the 2 favorites for a lot of people. And you guys know me, Henry Ruggs, I believe, is going to be that guy that can step into that role. But we don't know yet. And training camp is right around the corner, so hopefully we'll find out. And even throughout preseason, these players are also going to get more PT out there, so I'm excited to see who can step up into that role. But other than Edwards and Ruggs, the Raiders also brought in some veteran talent at the wide receiver position, bringing in John Brown and Willie Snead, 2 guys that I believe could also step up in that role. You know, they could be dark horses as well, but they are 2 solid veteran, you know, wide receivers, so it's honestly anybody's job right now. It's up in the air, but I am hoping to see that jump, that leap from year 1 to year 2 from Henry Ruggs, because I do believe he could be that wide receiver with the speed that he has, and with, you know, bulking up this past offseason. Man, we might be in for a real breakout season from Henry Ruggs. My third question is, will the new offensive line hold up. Now, one of the biggest stories in the offseason have been the Raiders offensive line, especially after trading away Rodney Hudson to the Cardinals, Trent Brown to the Patriots, and Gabe Jackson to the Seahawks. What may have seemed as a questionable move by the Raiders, they quickly found some young replacement with some high upside. First up, by going out and re-signing Denzel Good and Richie Incognito, and going out into the draft in the first round and drafting Alex Leatherwood, not to mention trusting Andre James to fill Rodney Hudson's shoes at center. Now, if there's anybody that I believe in that could at least work with this offensive line and make it work, it's Tom Cable. This guy, has made Colton Miller one of the better left tackles in the league, and I was one of those doubters when we drafted him. So I hope that he can do the same thing with the rest of these young guys, with Andre James, with Alex Leatherwood, heck, Denzel Good, Brandon Parker, whoever else is on this roster, just to help this offensive line be solid and hold our quarterback up and keep him clean. You know what I mean? Question number 4 is, can this defensive line finally get to the quarterback and wreak havoc? Now, you look at last season in 2020, the Raiders had a total of 21 sacks. 14 and a half of those sacks was from this defensive line. That is unacceptable. We obviously were one of the worst defensive lines in the league. Heck, one of the worst defenses in the league overall. But the Raiders made it their #1 goal, their mission, to go out and revamp, rebuild, restructure this defensive line under Gus Bradley by going out and signing some solid veteran presence on this defensive line, some added depth to this defensive line. We went out and got Yannick Ngakoue. We went out and got Solomon Thomas. Heck, we went out and got Quentin Jefferson and so much more. We also went into the NFL draft and drafted Malcolm Koonce in the 3rd round out of Buffalo. And this is a guy that I believe has high upside. A guy I didn't know anything about before the draft. I believe Koonce can make an impact on this defensive line, especially as a rotational piece on the defensive line alongside of Mad Max Crosby and Cleveland Farrell, 2 guys that we got in the 2019 draft that have been pillars on this defensive line. Now, I know it's not saying much, but there is so much depth on this defensive line now, especially now with a new defensive coordinator and Gus Bradley, who I believe can't be any worse than Paul Guenther. I'm just excited to see what they can do this season, especially seeing them in preseason. I don't know who's going to be playing, but from what I've seen in OTAs, a lot of these guys are looking really solid, real quick out there. Hopefully get more than 21 sacks, because I believe that Yannick Ngakoue would account for 10 sacks. Mad Max Crosby would account for another 10 sacks, so that's 20 for just those 2. So overall, I think the Raiders could get like 40, 50 sacks.
My neck and my back.
And my last question, going into training camp / preseason, is how much will Kenyon Drake be utilized in this offense? Now, I know that the news came out a couple of days ago that our Raiders running back coach Kirby Wilson has officially retired. And earlier today, Aaron Rappaport reported that offensive quality control coach Tim Burbinich, I hope I'm saying his name right, will be taking over. So how much will this affect Drake's role in this offense? Probably not much, but I know this was another questionable move by the Raiders, a questionable signing and free agency to bring in Kenyon Drake, when we already have a guy in Josh Jacobs. Now, we know that John Gruden and Mike Mayock said that they brought him in as that quote-unquote joker role on this offense, the role that we all thought Lynn Bowden Jr. was going to play, but how much of that is actually true? Now, going into training camp now, putting the pads on and whatnot, and now that we have preseason, I believe we're going to see a lot more from Kenyon Drake. He's going to get a lot of snaps out there, especially in preseason. So I'm excited to see him out there. So one thing I will be looking out for is how much they will be utilizing Kenyon Drake as a running back and as a wide receiver. But just like Marcus Mariota is to Derek Carr, I believe Kenyon Drake is to Josh Jacobs. These are just some solid veteran depth at the position. If anything was to happen, knock on wood, we have a solid backup for these 2 guys in Derek Carr and Josh Jacobs. So, Raider Nation, what are you looking forward to in training camp and even in preseason? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today on this training camp preview video, whatever you're gonna call it. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. And if this is the first time you're coming across my channel and you love the Las Vegas Raiders, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. Road to 30K. We are almost there, 700 people away. With that being said, until the next video, this is your boy Samoa Raider, and your boy is, yeah.